What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Shooky from Shook Earth Media, and today we are talking about top 5 hidden gems on Xbox Game Pass. Now, if you guys know, I recently did my Halo Infinite review. Big Halo fan, and of course I got Game Pass to do that, and as opposed to paying full price for Halo Infinite, I paid $1, got 3 months of Game Pass on the trial. So I've been just sampling around various different games, and I thought it might be a fun video to talk about 5 hidden gems. Now, this is where I'm going to reveal myself as the artsy-fartsy kind of guy that I really am, because that's the kind of games I like too. So most of these games you'll be able to complete in a handful, in one sitting or just a couple sittings. They're shorter games, and one of my favorite genres of games is puzzle games, and these artistic puzzle games especially, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. First on the list is Superliminal. I just finished this one yesterday, and it's one of the coolest puzzle games I've played in a while. It's a perspective-based puzzle game, kind of has a Portal feel to it, where you're like going through various rooms. It's like a scientific experiment to a degree, but it's in a dream state, so it's a little bit more abstract. And ultimately, it's a game about looking at things from a different perspective and solving your life's problems by distancing yourself from them and letting yourself think in a different way. So I really like that thematic core of it, but the basic puzzle premise is that you pick up an object and then you move it, and based on on the perspective of how you're looking at it, it will change size. So if you pick up an object, if you walk towards an object that's really small and you pick it up and then you put it away from you, so you look over it further away and you drop it, all of a sudden it grew really big. So it's really trippy, and it gets more and more abstract as it goes. And there's a lot of really striking imagery and really crazy things that happen. There's different segments, and each one has a different gameplay mechanic. And just some really great puzzles. There's a part where it's, the objects are all cloned. And then towards the end, it starts to get really chaotic, and you're in these really, these really absurd dream states where it's like endless a maze of elevators and lots of crazy things. So you're gonna like this game if you're into abstract puzzle games. If you like Portal, this is a game you gotta try. It's a little different. It's definitely memorable, and it's well worth the play. And you can finish it in like 6 hours or so. So like 2 sittings for me, and it's really well worth the play. Okay, number 2 on the list is What Remains of Edith Finch. Now, this is not a puzzle game per se. This is, I honestly would call this a walking simulator, but it's a walking simulator in the best way possible, in that it tells a really captivating story. It's very engaging. It's not like these typical walking simulators where you're just looking around and you have to bring your own entertainment to it. It's a guided experience. It tells a powerful story about the importance of family and understanding where you came from, and it's really emotionally captivating, and it's something that you will never forget. It's like a 2-hour game, and it has a lot of different very memorable segments, and it's really emotionally involving, and it has an ending that it's a beautiful ending. You guys are gonna love this game if you like story-based games and you want an interesting story told in a unique way. This is something I recommend to everybody, so definitely check it out on Game Pass. Okay, next on the list, third on the list, we got the Medium. I've discussed this game previously on my channel. As you guys know, big Silent Hill fan. I got the Pyramid Head back there in the Silent Hill 2 soundtrack. I love Silent Hill. It's one of my favorite horror franchises of all time. Now, this game, it's not explicitly a Silent Hill game, but by my estimation, this is the Polish Silent Hill, okay? It has all the trappings. It has a very similar thematic core to it. It has the same composer doing music for it. So it's really it's a really great experience. It's tailor-made for Silent Hill fans. It's got fixed camera angles, and it's the best modern usage of fixed camera angles that I've ever seen. The camera is constantly moving with you, and I was never, like most of these fixed camera games, I always find myself wanting to look around at some point. This game, I had no desire to do that whatsoever. It has an incredible art style, and it's very disturbing. There's a lot of really captivating imagery that is unforgettable. It's about a character who is, of course, a medium who can go between our world and the spirit world, and the gimmick of the game is that there's portions of the game that are rendered both worlds at the same time simultaneously, and there's a split screen effect. Most of the game is not this. There's only a couple segments that are like this, and you spend more time in either one world or the other. And there's a few puzzles here and there. The puzzle solving is rather simplistic. You're here for the art, you're here for the storytelling, and ultimately it's a story about intergenerational trauma and how the history of the Polish people affects them to this day. And it's really something that you're gonna like if you're into Silent Hill. Like I said, it's not a survival horror game. There are some like action sequences, kind of chase scenes, but it's mostly just an exploration, and it's an artistic experience first and foremost. So don't go in looking for typical Silent Hill gameplay, but it definitely has the artistic sensibility, and there's a lot of symbolism going on, and if you're into that kind of stuff, you're gonna like it. So I highly recommend the Medium. So next on the list we have Gorogoa. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it, but I just played this today, and it's really unique. It's another artsy puzzle-solving game, and if you're into that kind of stuff, you're gonna love it. You can finish this in one sitting. It's fairly short. The basic premise is that you have 4 squares. It's these 4 tiles, and the story is told in those 4 tiles. There's no dialogue or anything. It's a totally visually told story. Beautiful hand-painted art, and it's really, really well done. And the basic premise is that each of these little cubes has different scenes going on, and you have to rearrange the tiles such that they line up, and you explore the different scenes, and you have to find places where they overlap to get your character from one screen to the next. And there are parts where, for example, there's like a boulder that's falling, and you need to find the screens that it lines up with so that you can catch the boulder on a different screen. I don't want to spoil too much, but basic story is like there's this dragon overtaking the city, and you have to find these 5 like magic apples that will take over the city or help you take out the dragon. And it's somewhat of a time travel story as well. It's open to interpretation as to exactly what's going on, and it's really a powerful story. And I think that if you're into any of the other games on this list, you will like this one as well. It's very quick, as I said. It doesn't take too long to finish it, and it's very memorable, and there's nothing else quite like it. And that's what I like about these unique puzzle-solving games, is that there's nothing else like them on the market. So you're going to enjoy this. I highly recommend it. And last on the list, we have Visage. Now, this is a horror game. It seems heavily inspired by PT, the Silent Hill demo that Kojima made. And it's got a lot of that, psychological, abstract, trippy kind of gameplay. It's an exploration-based game. It's one of the more scary games that I've played. I'm kind of like iron when it comes to horror games these days. This is one that definitely got me going. So it's very scary. It's a little unpredictable, and the puzzles are very abstract. There's a lot of gameplay here. It will take you a while to finish all 4 chapters, and then there's like a 5th hidden chapter that you can find. So the story's there's not a lot to it, really. It's more about the experience of getting chased around by these ghosts and solving the puzzles and exploring everything. So it's an indie game. You're gonna like it if you like the horror stuff. And at the very least, if you just play that first chapter, it's probably the scariest ones. So I recommend it. It's a lot of fun, and I had a lot of fun playing it with my good friends. So we had a good time playing it together, and I recommend it. So yeah, that's my list of top 5 hidden gems on the Xbox Game Pass. Of course, You guys know that there's already all the Microsoft-owned games. This includes all the Bethesda games. So all the Fallouts, Elder Scrolls, you got Doom, everything made by id. You got, back catalog of stuff. You got the Psychonauts game. There's a lot of good stuff on there, and it also includes EA Pass as well. So if you have Game Pass, you have EA Pass as well. So this includes games like, you get like the Madden games, you get FIFA, there's all the Dead Space games, which I really enjoy the Dead Space games. You get It Takes Two, which is on my list. I haven't played it yet. Honorable mention to The Outer Wilds. That's not an EA game, but The Outer Wilds is on here as well. It was just added on the 6th of this month. And it's on my list. The only reason it's not on the list is because I haven't played it yet myself, so I don't want to add something that I haven't played yet. But there's also Myst. If you like the adventure puzzle games, Myst is the OG classic. It's one of the original kind of exploration-based games. It's a remastered version of it, so it's really great. I highly recommend it. Yeah, there's plenty of great games on there. They just added Mass Effect Legendary Edition, the remastered version of the original games. Mass Effect is a great RPG series, highly recommend. So there's a lot of great value here, and I recommend checking it out. If you never played the game Prey, for example, if you like the BioShock games, Prey is very similar. It's a Bethesda game. It's really cool. So there's plenty of great games on there, and if you got Game Pass to play Halo Infinite, I recommend checking some of these out. So yeah, that's all I have for today, guys. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, be sure to hit with the like button, and be sure to subscribe for more videos. I hope to see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Have a good one, everybody.